Hey everybody, welcome back to the Callie and Mike Show. I'm Callie.
And I'm Mike.
And today we're doing the Suicide Squad. Second one.
The Suicide Squad.
The Suicide
I'm pronouncing it so you don't the. Go ahead.
Anyway, I liked the first one better. I'm not so much into action movies, and this one had a lot more action than storyline, whereas the first one, although it had action, had a storyline to it.
Tell the truth.
What's the truth?
No, about your condition.
No.
Okay.
No,
That's irrelevant.
That's irrelevant. We'll explain that later. For those of you who like action, I mean, it did have a lot of action and a lot of good action and all that. My first sighting of Harley Quinn, aka Margot Robbie, was in the first Suicide Squad, and that is where I ultimately fell in love with her, and then just from other movies it continued. Not gonna lie, if I first saw her in this one, my love for her wouldn't be as strong. She didn't have as many good lines and good puns, and I mean, she was funny, but not as she was in the first one. I think a lot of the Suicide Squatters, they didn't really do much. I mean, there was like a shark who, whatever, he was just way too, cinematized, and then there was a girl who her only power was she could like call all rats, and like it just, the first one was just so much better. Mike has a very different review than me, so if you're like me and action isn't totally your thing and you really like the first one, the second one is going to be a little bit of a disappointment. So I'm going to be a little harsh, and I'm going to give it a 2.5 star rating. Mike?
Wow. No. And 2.5 is actually still not bad. I being a action fan, and this was certainly my type of movie, I loved it. I thought that the action was great. A much bigger and louder movie, very profane. There was a lot more, they said it was going to go all out in its gore and violence and all that stuff, and it definitely did. I liked all the characters. I understand why Callie was saying, they weren't the conventional thing, but I did enjoy them on it, not on an emotional level, but more on a entertainment only, kind of a thing. I'll agree that Harley Quinn did not come in until later. She wasn't as prominent in the first section of the movie. It was really later on.
Well, even when she wasn't later on, she wasn't as funny.
It wasn't as funny. She wasn't
as out there as she was.
Yeah, she definitely had better lines in the first one. She was really good in this one, but I understand.
She was more normal.
She was more normal in this one, absolutely. But
I mean, she did some funny things, but like it wasn't anything like out there. Like
this was more about a more serious kind of thing. But anyway, I mean, I for people who liked action, love action, and were liked over the top stuff, red stuff and all that, yes, the story wasn't as great in this one. It was more of a straightforward and kind of how it was executed. The first one definitely had more of a it was a better story. This one had a good story. It was more about the action than it was about the story in this one, but it did do what it was supposed to do well, which is concentrate on the action. So I would give it a 4-star rating. But again, this is definitely more of my kind of movie than it was
For all of
Kelly's.
you, those that think Mike and I talk about the movie before and agree and figure out what we're gonna do, as you can see in this movie.
Yeah, that's not the case, and we did
talk about it, but we did not.
We did not talk about it in this much of this extensive conversation. So I loved it, and I understand why Callie. I loved it. I give it a 4. I understand why Callie only gives it a 2.5. But
he knows me so well.
But I do. So without prolonging it anymore, thank you very much for keeping with us.
And we're doing a movie tomorrow, so you guys are going to get another review.
Absolutely. We're going to check out Jungle Cruise tomorrow, so I'm hoping that we will both like it, that Callie will like it more. But again, there it is. So
again, another action movie, though, so who knows?
Oh my God. So, all right, guys, thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you tomorrow night.
Bye.